Today I would like to introduce to you Dr. Jasleen Kaur, who is a veterinary surgeon actually and also a dentist, pet dentist. Now she did her Bachelors in Veterinary Science in Hyderabad from SVVU and then went for Masters in Surgery and Radiology to GADVASU in Ludhiana, one of the best PG hospitals or colleges in all over India. She had a dream of starting her own pet clinic, and to fulfill her dream she started here in Sagar Society with all the facilities that are available. The pet clinic name is ALLVET Pet Clinic, and she had a dream of expanding this clinic and also available for 24 hours. The intention of discussing with her is, many pet owners, when they first time adopt the pets, they doesn't know what to do with the puppies or cats or other animals when they come to them. They wanted to take care of them, but every small imbalance in their system makes them tensed up. As a pet owner, even I experienced all those things. If he doesn't take food properly, if he doesn't drink properly, water or milk, anything, that creates a lot of tension in me. So for that purpose, I thought of interviewing a doctor, veterinary doctor, so that it will help all the pet owners who are owning the pets. Now let me introduce to you Dr. Jasleen Kaur, who is with us today. Hello Dr. Jasleen Kaur. You did your Masters in Surgery and Radiology from GADVASU in Ludhiana, right?
Yeah.
Why did you opt that university for surgery?
That is one of the best universities for surgery, not just in India, even if you consider Asia.
Okay.
In surgery, it has really good facilities and the professors are very good. That's why.
Okay. I also saw that you did your research in dentistry. So what will you learn from that?
Basically, when I did my research in dentistry, because many dogs have a little bit of malalignment of the jaw, or they have extra teeth, like the temporary set doesn't fall and the permanent set comes along with that. So that was my research in tooth extraction, and if you notice, almost all dogs have a typical doggy breath, which it's called. So that was again one of my research topics, because owners complained a lot about the breath when they went near the dog, or when they had friends coming over, there was a lot of smell from the dog's mouth. So based on that, we used to do scaling and tooth extraction if there's any problem with the tooth, and we do the polishing of the tooth too. It helps a lot with the bad odor of the mouth.
Okay. I just had a small curiosity. You started this pet clinic, right? What is the intention of starting your own pet clinic at this age, at a very young age, I mean?
My main thing was I want to give as best service as I can, and along with that I realized that in this area there were a few good clinics, but the doctor had to move to a different area for some reasons. So there was a demand of a clinic in this area, and plus I think I have completed my masters, so that will help a lot with the treatment which I can give, especially the university where I've done it from. That will add to the knowledge which I have. And also age, I think, is not a matter. As long as you have experience and you know you're good with the subject and your knowledge is good, age I don't think makes much of a difference.
No, it's not. My intention is not because you are very young. What is the intention of starting the clinic? But what I mean to say is, even doctors who are already experienced will not come forward to start with this kind of facilities. They will be having their own clinics, no doubt about it, but with ultrasound facilities and having own theatre and all, it's very rare to be seen, because the investment will be obviously more. So normally, very rarely we'll see all the facilities at one place. If we come with a dog, all the facilities will not be available at one clinic normally. So that is my intention of asking them.
In that way, I've been very lucky that my parents are doctors, and they have their own. My father has his own clinic for the past 35 years and a hospital. So I think they were my inspiration for this, and they helped me a lot with the setup. If I didn't come from a medical background, maybe even I would go for a smaller setup. But because of them, they knew everything and how exactly a hospital needs to be set, and that helped me a lot.
That's nice to hear actually. And I'll go to our pet problems and all. I want to ask you, are you treating only dogs and cats here, or all the pets, whatever pet is brought to you, you will treat them?
All the pets, any pets which are there, like many people keep rabbits or guinea pigs and hamsters. A few people have birds at home. So all pets are welcome.
Okay. Normally, mostly, if we observe, cats, normally wild cats will be coming into the houses when they are very small, and people will adopt them automatically and they will be staying at home. So that's not a problem, but some people, they'll go and buy the cats of other countries, that is breeds of other countries. What are the problems that we face when we go for other country breeds? How long they can sustain this climate and all?
Other than the domestic short hair is what we call the Indian cat. And other than that, the most common cat which we have over here is Persian cat.
Yeah.
So the main problem which happens with them is they're very hairy breeds basically. So they need to be maintained properly. Unlike the domestic short hair which has no hair or no coat, these ones need regular brushing and regular grooming basically is what we call. So in that thing, people have a misconception that cats don't need to be groomed and they can take care of themselves. But when it comes to these cats, the Persian cats, they definitely need to be groomed daily. If not daily, as regular as possible. So the most common thing which we see over here is the cats come with skin problems or the hair is completely matted together and it's horrible knots because of which the owner and the cat both have face problems.
Okay.
So that's the most commonly seen problem which we've seen.
Okay. As many people opt for adopting dogs here of different breeds, what do you suggest these pet owners? Because when they own a puppy, they'll bring it home at the age of 30 days or 45 days. Actually, what is the correct age for adopting a puppy?
There is no as such correct age given, but according to experience and everything, 45 days is the best age to adopt, not before that. It can be a little later also, slightly later, but definitely not before 45. Maximum, you can go up to say 40 days, somewhere between 40 and 50. But there are breeders who give the dogs at 25 and 30 days too. And such puppies, if you see, develop other issues later because they were separated from the mother at a very early age, or they didn't get mother's milk for a long time. So they're a little weak, or they need more attention and more vitamins and mineral supplements and all that to get their immunity up.
Okay.
That's why. So it's better if they're with the mother till at least 40 to 45 days.
Yeah, actually, we also observed that at the age of 20 or 25 days itself, puppies are being separated from their mothers.
Yes.
I have seen a number of dogs, number of breeds. Which breed can sustain Indian climate more?
Right now the conditions are such that it's all based on the genetic thing. The way they're breeding the dogs, they're breeding them in a way that they can sustain all climates. Because if you see, pug is a very common breed now, but a few years back, before the Vodafone ads started coming, no one knew what a pug was. This breed was not a natural breed. It was bred in a way with different breeds being bred together to an extent that a pug was created. So because of that, because of the breeding way, now almost all dogs can sustain in all environment. Plus, in Hyderabad also now you're seeing many Siberian Huskies, which are generally dogs which were in snow, are brought up in snow kind of an environment. But over here they're kept in AC rooms, so that's again good for them, as long as there's an AC or a cool environment given to them. So that they're surviving over here too, and the owners are very happy.
What kind of food should be given when the puppy comes separated from the mother and given to the owner?
This is a very good question, because most common thing that happens with puppies is as soon as it comes from the breeder to the owner, the breeder usually doesn't give proper information about what food was given. Because many breeders actually stick to good dog food, but a few of them just want to tell that they were giving a good dog food, but they actually give something else. So when you change the food of a puppy, the stomach is very sensitive, and because it's developing and they're still puppies. So if there's even the slightest change in the food, that can cause vomitings or loose motions, which is bad for the puppy because he's too young to take all of that. So in the beginning, once it's separated, you should insist that the breeder tells you what they were feeding or give you a little bit of the food which is left of what they were feeding. And along with that, any probiotics can be given at home under the veterinarian's prescriptions itself, otherwise nothing on their own. And along with that, gradually they can either start with, there are many baby formulas available even in veterinary, that is puppy formulas. You can start with that and then gradually shift to the mother and puppy food of various companies.
Now, when a puppy comes to the age of 3 months or so, normally doctors suggest to go for vaccinations. What is the right age to give vaccinations and how often we should give a vaccination to them?
We start the vaccinations at 45 days, unless the puppy was separated from the mother a little earlier than that. Then we started before that. Otherwise, 45 days is the ideal time we started. At 3 months, the anti-rabies is given, because if the mother was vaccinated properly, the anti-rabies immunity stays in the puppy for at least 3 months. So there's nothing to worry about that till then. But in case these days many people are adopting stray dogs, which is a very good thing because they need good homes.
Yeah.
So in those cases, we can also go for the vaccination earlier than that, because they don't have any mother's immunity. We don't know if their mother was actually vaccinated or not.
True.
So it's always better to go for an earlier vaccination. But otherwise, we give 2 boosters. For the 7-in-1 is one of the vaccines which is given at 45 days. For that, we give 2 boosters at an interval of 1 month. And anti-rabies is another vaccine which is started at 3 months, and we give 1 booster for that. After that, annual vaccinations are good.
Every year we have to give vaccination to them. Okay. More we should do for the puppy when we bring it home.
Regular deworming is very important, because they might have a habit as puppies, they eat anything or they go out and lick anything that's there. So they need to be dewormed regularly as puppies. Usually we say every 15 days to 1 month for puppies, and then gradually it becomes once in 3 months as they grow up.
Okay. What about these ticks? Where do they catch these ticks normally? Because it is a normal problem that is observed with the pets, mostly dogs.
Ticks also have different breeding seasons. So there's a few months in which you'll find excessive ticks, and mostly in the environment. If you're staying in an apartment and there are other dogs in the apartment which go out for walks, because of them, even if your puppy is still a housebound dog, pup is not going out anywhere, it can still get ticks because there are dogs in the surrounding areas. That's why.
What kind of harm will be done with this tick bite?
When it bites, it releases toxins in the body, and because of that, there's something called tick fever that can happen, and that actually can be very fatal for the puppies and adult dogs both. Plus, along with that, they're also sucking the blood, so that causes anemia. It will cause a reduction in the immunity. So there are multiple problems which can happen because of this.
How to take care of this?
There are many preventive medicines which are available. There are topical applications, either spot-ons or tick collars or sprays, which need to be repeated once a month. Unless it's a tick collar, that is good enough for 6 months. Otherwise, the other things need to be repeated every month.
I had a curious question.
Of course.
Out of my curiosity, these ticks come for only dogs or for any other animal they can?
There are different ticks. Each tick has a specific host. So the ticks which we find most commonly in India are for dogs. Cats and dogs have fleas also. So each of them have different hosts. Even if they're attached to another host, they can't attach to them properly. They can't release the toxins in the body and they'll die soon. Okay. They can't reproduce basically.
Okay. So these parrots and all, they will not catch this type of things?
They have different kinds of ectoparasites.
Okay. So difference in the breed and difference in the kind of animal we are owning, caring should be different.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. I think these birds are very sensitive when compared to dogs and cats. Is it true?
Yes. Sensitive to temperature, any sudden change, or when they're separated from the other bird which was there with them in the cage. Such things can also affect their immunity.
When do we go for these ultrasounds and all for dogs or cats?
The most common ultrasound cases we see over here are for pregnancy diagnosis. Whenever they're suspecting that there was an accidental mating of the dog or cat, or they want to confirm if the mating done was actually successful or not. That's the most common ultrasound which we see. Other than that, we get many dogs who eat foreign bodies, who eat toys or something, any plastic when they were going out, and they start vomiting continuously after that. So in those cases, whenever there is a lot of vomiting and loose motion, it's not stopping even with medicines, then we go for an ultrasound to confirm if there's anything else that's going on.
Then we have to go for operation.
Yes, if needed.
And one more thing, these dogs, they can have good sense of smell, right?
Yes.
Why do they consume everything that comes in their way? Because they can smell it, whether it is food or not, they can identify. No? Why do they consume everything, whatever it is, whether it is a ball or a toy or anything, rubbers, covers, plastic covers, everything they'll consume. Why is that like that?
Because that's like a toy for them. And even these rubber things and all, each thing gives a different smell to them. So it's not just the chicken or the meat flavor that's attractive to them, even the other things are very attractive.
So they think that everything is...
anything that has smell which they like can be eaten. If you take a toy and you rub a little bit of chicken or food on it too, or even just with your hands you rub it a little, they can get your smell in that, or they can get the taste of the, if your hands, when you remove the toy, if you had some masala in your hand or something, they can get that smell in it.
And these dogs, many people say that you can give training to the dogs.
Yes.
How far is it good for the dogs? Training in the sense, I mean not this small training like potty training or eating food at time intervals, not this kind of training I am telling you. Strict training in the sense that they can go for some competitions and all. How far is it good for these pet dogs?
If it's done under proper supervision, then I think it's good. Because as long as you're training them properly and not punishing them very badly for doing something wrong, or not being brutal to them while you're training them, it's fine. Because dogs are quite intelligent and they catch on and learn very easily. So in fact most of the breeds are guard dogs, and the large breeds, I mean like German Shepherds and Labradors, and they're meant to get trained in a way, in a certain way. Labradors are with police, so they're trained in a different way.
Nowadays they're using them for sniffer dogs, like sniffer dogs. Now what I want to know is, these pet dogs, either pet dogs or cats, do they have feelings? They can they understand our feelings?
Definitely.
Every feeling they can understand?
Most of them can, yes. I mean most of the feelings they can. These days it hasn't come up that much in India. But in abroad, if you see, they have dog behaviorists, dog psychologists, because they understand that even dogs can go to depression. If your owner is not happy or the owner is upset, even the dog senses that and gets upset. If, like, everyone I think who has a pet at home can relate to it. If they're upset or they're in a very bad mood, they'll see that the pet is coming to them and trying to make them feel better and console them.
Even when the pet owner is not feeling well, even that can be identified by the pets.
There are many therapy dogs which are there. Again, that hasn't come that much in India, but abroad there are many therapy dogs which are there. And with people who are sick and don't have anyone to take care of them, the dog is trained in a way that he can sense when the owner is not well, and he can dial 911 on the phone. They're trained to dial the emergency number.
Okay, that's cool. And one more thing I want to know. Whenever these pets are humiliated or they get hurt, they feel bad, and sometimes I even observe that there will be tears in their eyes. Yes. How far is it true?
We have seen that too, but there are not too many documented studies about that. But all the animal behaviorists do say that it's true, they can feel too. Those tears are of course not real tears the way we have them, but they too have can sense when someone is actually making fun of them, or when you're not giving them enough love or attention.
Can they understand each and every word that we speak?
No. They understand the tone of the words more, and your movements and your actions, the way you're telling them, like if you're telling them very strictly or you're being calm with them, they understand that more than the words.
Okay. Words they cannot understand. Whether it is cats or dogs?
Yes.
How far is it true that some people say that these birds can speak? When we train them, they can also speak words as we speak. Can they if we train them?
A few of them can. It depends on the vocal cords. A few of them, when you train them and you keep repeating it to them continuously, they can repeat back those words.
What are the suggestions that you give to the pet owners? What kind of care that we should take, and what kind of any more suggestions that I may not be in a position to ask?
The main thing right now I'll tell is, because it's summertime, usually every year in summers we get many cases of heat strokes. So even if your dog is a guard dog or an outdoor dog, make sure he has a cool place where he can sit during the day. If you're taking him out for walks, or you're taking him to a veterinarian for a visit, try and do it before it gets too sunny. Maybe early in the mornings, before say 10 or 11, or in the evenings after the sun goes down, because during the day it's so hot that even we don't travel without proper protection and we need water the entire time. The same way they also need a lot of water to keep themselves cool, and they also need a nice cool area to sit in, otherwise they're very prone to heat strokes in this weather. And Hyderabad is a very hot place, so this is something which they need to be very careful about in this coming weather. Plus this is also a season for ticks, so that is again one more thing which they need to be careful about. If they can put their dog on any tick prevention protocol, because prevention is always better than cure, so that is something which will be needed. And the general thing which we advise everyone is every 3 to 6 months we advise for a general checkup. And if your dog is old, if it's above 7 years, then we advise for a blood check every 6 to 8 months. It's the same as in humans. As our age progresses, we prefer going for complete checkups and everything regularly to make sure everything is fine. It doesn't have to mean that you have a sign of a disease, it's just for your mental peace that yes, I'm healthy. The same way for their too, because they can't speak. We don't know what is going on underneath, we don't know what problem they're facing, because we need to understand 7 or 8 years also for them is old. So we have to go ahead with the checkups and everything according to that.
What kind of diseases will come to these dogs or cats?
It's almost the same as humans. As they grow old, they can get diabetes. It can come at any age, but as we go for regular checkups, we sense it more. Then they have thyroid issues too, they have hypertension, they have cardiac issues that happen. So these are things which are difficult for the owner to recognize just by seeing. So that's why general checks are usually advised.
Dr. Jasleen, I just want to ask you, what do you say about your clinic for other pet owners so that they can come to the clinic, because many people do not know that it is existing. Yes. So can you kindly speak about the facilities you have in this clinic so that other pet owners can come here?
My clinic is called ALLVET Pet Clinic. Basically we haven't done too much of marketing for the clinic because we wanted to concentrate more on the facilities which we are giving over here and the treatment rather than the marketing side right now. But this is something which I started as a dream project. It's been a dream since I think the past 10 years, and my aim was to keep everything under one roof so that the owners don't have to keep traveling to different places for other services. And we've started with a dental unit, which was one of my major topics of interest, and we have an operation theatre. We also have a laboratory over here in which we do all the required blood tests for the dogs and cats. And we have a radiology and diagnostic center basically. Along with that, we've also started with a pet store and a grooming center, because in this area I think everyone wants their dogs to be well groomed, and that is something which was needed under one roof again. So we started with all of that together, and maybe hope in the coming weeks we'll start more marketing so that people also know more about this place.
Dr. Jasleen, thank you very much, because after discussing with you, even I came to know about many things which I do not know normally, and hope this interview will help many pet owners who are going to adopt, whether it is a cat or a dog or any other animal, so that they can follow these suggestions which you gave to our viewers, and also may hope that they will come to you and visit your clinic for their pets. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Hello all the pet owners and who are in future pet owners who are going to adopt any kind of pet. There is a very good clinic here in Sagar Society, Hyderabad, which is having all the facilities with them, and I found, as a pet owner, I found this is very convenient for me to bring my pet with whatever disease he is suffering from. I hope this interview with Jasleen Kaur will help you all in taking suggestions or in maintaining your pets or in adopting your pets and bringing them up. Thank you very much.